Looking at number 8 from the first semester final exam. The question is, what is the solution set of the inequality x squared plus 4x minus 5 is less than 0? Which of these choices is the solution set? Let's do this one. So we have x squared plus 4x minus 5 is less than 0. As is often the case, it's a good idea to factor. So let's factor the left side. I don't see a greatest common factor other than 1, so I'm going to go to a product of two binomials. To get this x squared, I put an x and an x. This minus in front of the 5 is telling me that these signs have to be different. I'm going to make this one a plus and this one a minus. What are two numbers that multiply together to be a 5? Well, the only choices is really a 5 and a 1. Since I want this to come out to be a positive 4, I'm going to put the more dominant number with the positive. Let's check that. X times negative 1 is negative x. 5 times x is 5x. Negative x plus 5x is 4x. So this looks good. All of this is less than 0. In order to find, now this is an inequality, and in order to find all the different values of x that will make it true, I'm going to draw a number line to help me visualize it. In the middle, I'm going to put the 0. Let's see. If x plus 5 is a factor, then what will one of the critical values be? If x plus 5 is a factor, that means that negative 5 is a critical value. If x minus 1 is a factor, that means that 1 is another critical value. Since this is just less than, but not less than or equal to, I'm not going to fill in the circle on those two critical values. Now we need to pick a number in each of these three regions. You see there's a region that's everything less than negative 5, everything between negative 5 and 1, and everything greater than 1. Those three regions. We want to find where in which regions is this true. Let's pick a number that's less than negative 5. How about negative 6? I put a negative 6 in here. Negative 6 plus 5 would be negative 1. This would be a negative 1. Negative 6 minus 1 would be negative 7. We would have a negative times a negative, which would give us a positive, and a positive number cannot be less than 0, and therefore we should not shade to the left of negative 5. Now let's pick a number between negative 5 and 1. A very good choice is to just pick the 0. When we put a 0 in both terms, we end up with 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 minus 1 is negative 1, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5, and negative 5 is less than 0. That means the numbers between negative 5 and 1 are in the solution set. Let's check to see about numbers that are greater than 1. How about the number 2? 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 minus 1 is 1. 7 times 1 is 7. And 7 is not less than 0, and so these numbers are not in the solution set. The only numbers that are in the solution set are the numbers between negative 5 and 1. This is the way we can write that using inequalities. We say negative 5 is less than whatever we want our x to be, and the x is less than a 1. Because any of these numbers that in the shaded part could be our x, but the x has to be between the negative 5 and the 1. Let's check to see, of all of our choices, which one seems to be expressing this the best. Well, this is not quite saying it. This is saying that x has to be less than negative 1 or x has to be greater than 5. That's not at all what we've just said. Here we have a good choice. This is saying that x has to be a number that is between negative 5 and 1. And so it appears that the best answer for number 8 is 4.